Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading off to Japan for round 16 of the 2000 Formula 1 season. Let's get started.
Located approximately 70 kilometers southwest of Nagoya, the exciting Suzuka circuit combines two medium-speed straights with a technical arrangement including a hairpin, as well as fast-sweeping and 90-degree turns. Owned by Honda, Suzuka has a somewhat unique figure-of-eight layout, causing the track to cross over itself.
Here we are in Japan, ready for our qualifying, and the weather is nice for once. I hope that we can have a decent session, but knowing myself, that's going to be quite difficult. However, I will try my best, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to do well. So, coming around for our first qualifying lap, I thought I was doing well, but we crossed the line with a time of 1 minute 47.490 seconds, placing us in 22nd. And now, coming around for our second qualifying lap, we crossed the line with a time of 1 minute 45.196 seconds, a slight improvement on our previous attempt, unfortunately not enough for anything except 22nd. See you on the grid.
Hello there. Welcome to Japan. 50-50 are the chances of the weather changing, so it'll be the teams that react best that will top the times. Schumacher first. Coulthard second. Hakkinen third. Rubens Barrichello fourth. Button fifth. Jacques Villeneuve sixth. Schumacher seventh. Heinz-Harald Frentzen eighth. Jos Verstappen ninth. Heidfeld 10th. Giancarlo Fisichella 11th. Jarno Trulli 12th. Irvine was consistently faster than his teammate. He starts 13th. Ricardo Zonta 14th. Alexander Wirtz 15th. Mika Salo 16th. Pedro Diniz 17th. Alesi 18th. Pedro de la Rosa 19th. Mazzacane 20th. Marc Genet 21st. The Jaguar driver 22nd.
Here we are on the grid now, ready for the Japanese Grand Prix. As we've come to expect, I'm all the way at the back. But that doesn't bother me all that much, and we're off to a bad start as usual. But that's okay, because everyone seems to be quite slow at the moment. I passed Marc Genet, next are De La Rosa and Mazzacane coming into turn 1. De La Rosa out of nowhere brakes suddenly, and I am unable to react in time. As a consequence, I lose my front wing, and Pedro de la Rosa his rear wing. Here is a replay of the start. Lots of wheel spin from me. Everyone gets away from the grid. I go for the attack and pass Genet. Then, as we enter turn 1, De La Rosa brakes in front of me, catching me off guard, and I end up hitting him. So this means that I will have to pit at the end of this lap to replace my wing. There's absolutely no downforce on the front tires whatsoever. As such, I'm struggling to control the car, but once I get a new wing, we should be okay. I decided to cut ahead to the pits, however, there's another incident on lap 1, as I continue to struggle with the car, but for now, let's see what happened up front. So, here we have the McLarens of Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard, and the Ferrari of Michael Schumacher. Hakkinen slams into the rear of the Ferrari, causing them to lose their wings, and now Barrichello slams into the rear of Mika Hakkinen. Only lap 1 and we already have some retirements, as Mika Hakkinen works through the safety wall. I think that's called cheating. Anyway, we are now coming in to replace our front wing, and since we are here, we might as well take on some more fuel and change our tires. It probably won't make too much of a difference, but why not? That's 9.1 seconds of being stationary, which is fairly decent. And there was De La Rosa calling it quits. Now, we have a lot of work to try and catch up to the rest of the pack, so let's hope that we'll be able to. This is lap 2 and we already have another incident on the track, this time between Trulli and our teammate Eddie Irvine, and Rubens Barrichello as well. So let's check it out. This is certainly an interesting development. And here we have Jarno Trulli with the Sauber of Pedro Diniz behind. He slams into the rear of our teammate's car, causing both of them to lose their wings. So that means that our teammate will have to. And there we can see the wings of Hakkinen and Schumacher, as Diniz warps through the wall. Now, here's Rubens Barrichello who is missing his front wing. He comes around through the slow chicane at the end of the lap. Then, I believe Villeneuve smashes into the rear of Barrichello's Ferrari, breaking his rear wing. So that is yet another retirement. And it looks like Barrichello cannot warp through the wall like Trulli and Hakkinen. Anyway, due to the chaos on the track at the moment, I am already up in P16, which is a lot considering I had to pit on the first lap. Who would have thought that there would be so much carnage? We are now coming around to finish lap 3 as I quickly close in on Ricardo Zonta, who just pulls to the side. I'm guessing that he might be having some problems with his car. And we're now in P15. Make that P14 as we just passed Verstappen who retired. So next we have the Minardi of Marc Genet, which shouldn't cause too much of a problem. And it seems that there's another incident. Ooh boy. Here we have the BAR of Jacques Villeneuve with one of the Williams in front. As they approach the hairpin, Villeneuve fails to brake in time and slams into the back of the Williams. So that's one more retirement, and one more free spot for us. And there's another incident involving Villeneuve. And we saw a little bit of lightning there, and there's thunder as well. I think it might rain soon. We are now looking at the Prost of Nick Heidfeld as he's coming through the chicane. And as he accelerates out of the corner, he slams into the rear of Jacques Villeneuve. So we have yet another free spot. At this rate, I might as well pull to the side, wait for the race to end, then cross the finish line. And I'm pretty sure I'd still finish in a respectable position. This is absolutely absurd. We are not in Monaco, but I think the AI didn't get that memo. We are now on lap 5, and for some reason I can't get the car to turn, and so I get passed by Jarno Trulli and Marc Genet. So let's try and catch back up. A little bit later on lap 5, Lacey has some engine problems, as I'm still chasing down Jarno Trulli and Marc Genet, and I believe I just saw a car fly off the map. What is going on? Trulli lost a wheel, Genet lost a wing. Let's see what happened. We are now looking at Genet with Trulli to his side. They come through the fast 130R corner. Trulli taps the side of the Minardi, sending it flying through the air and off the map. We are now riding on board with Jarno Trulli. That was the tap that sent Genet into oblivion, and now Trulli hits the wall, causing him to flip over. And another look at Trulli. There's the tap, Trulli spins, hits the wall and flips over. So they're definitely out of the race. This is Nick Heidfeld with Diniz behind him, coming out of the slow chicane. Diniz smashes into the rear of the Prost, and that is one more retirement. And now we have Jean Alesi with Mika Salo behind him. What are the odds? They're approaching the chicane, Alesi's car spews out some smoke, and he's out as well. So that was interesting, to say the least. In the meantime, it started to rain. Hooray! I like rain, especially when it's not around me. Anyway, I will need to go and change over to the wet compound. Now, as I am preparing for a pit stop, I catch up to Mika Salo and actually pass him, but since I have to pit anyway, this won't do all that much to help me. I completely missed my pit box, so I put the car in reverse and that will cost me a whole lot of time. I'm not particularly happy about that, but the car is now off the jacks, we're waiting for the lollipop man, and we're off once again. 9.6 seconds of being stationary, quite mediocre. However, we rejoin in 7th place it seems. I was so preoccupied with what was going on around me that I didn't even notice what place I was in. Later on, I catch up to Pedro Diniz, who seems to still be on the dry weather tires for some reason. So that should make my work easier. Indeed it does, and we're now in 6th. That means that we are in the points. So I start scoring points now at the end of the season, when it doesn't make too much of a difference. On lap 8, I mess up the entry into this right-hander, which allows Diniz to get back in front of me, but I'll try to stick to him and hopefully go for a pass when I can. Now, coming out of the spoon curve, I stick very close to Diniz. I nearly made contact, but let's see if we can go a bit faster through 130R. And that is unnecessary because I passed Diniz before we even get there. And it seems that the rain has quieted down a bit. Now, at the end of lap 8, as I cut across the track, there is another incident on the circuit. Let's have a look. We are riding with Giancarlo Fisichella, who has the Jordan of Frentzen in front of him, and as they come through the S's, Fisichella slightly taps the rear of the Jordan, causing Fisichella to lose control. We've just started lap 9 and the track is starting to dry up, however it still feels that the wet tires are appropriate at the moment. Later on I get lapped by David Coulthard, so we'll have a slightly shorter race, which is fine by me because I passed Salo who was in the pit and I am now in P5. And now, coming around one last time through this slow chicane, despite the odds I managed to crawl up into 5th. I didn't think I'd be able to do it, considering that I had to pit on the first lap, and then around halfway through the race it started to rain, and rain is basically my kryptonite, but I got up into 5th, thanks in large part to all the retirements. Without so many retirements, I'm pretty sure I would be significantly lower. Yeah, look at that. More than half the field retired. Only 9 out of 22 starters managed to finish the race. Truly a race of attrition. But it's time to wrap things up and move on. We have one more race left. That is the Malaysian Grand Prix, and we will be done with the 2000 season. And yes, I did just spin my car on the wind down lap. Anyway, let's have a look at the standings.
That was an unforgettable Japanese Grand Prix. Here are the final results. Jenson Button first. David Coulthard second. Fisichella third. The Jaguar driver fifth. Salo sixth.
Mika Hakkinen is still in the lead with 110 points. Second is Michael Schumacher with 65 points. David Coulthard is third with 63 points. In fourth we have Jenson Button with 51 points. Jacques Villeneuve is fifth with 19 points. Sixth is Rubens Barrichello with 18 points. I hold 7th place with 14 points. Fisichella is in 8th with 13 points. 9th is shared by Verstappen, Ralf Schumacher and Nick Heidfeld with 9 points. Frentzen and Irvine are in 10th with 8 points. Salo is 11th with 6 points. Wirtz is 12th with 5 points. 13th place is held by Jarno Trulli with 3 points. Zonta is 14th with 2 points, and finally Genet 15th with 1 point. Next up we have the constructor standings, where McLaren increased their lead. They now have 173 points. Ferrari are second with 83 points. In third we have Williams with 60 points. Our team moves back up into fourth with 22 points. BAR dropped down to fifth with 21 points. Not a lot of breathing room there. Benetton are 6th with 18 points, Jordan are 7th with 11 points, Arrows, Prost and Sauber share 8th with 9 points, and Minardi are 9th with 1 point. What an interesting race this has been, especially during the opening laps, which ultimately led to us finishing in 5th and gaining 2 more points. It's not a lot, but we have to take anything we can even this late in the season. Sadly, we won't really be able to do much more, I don't think. If somehow I would win the final round, there is a slight chance that I would end up finishing the season in 5th, but I don't think I will be able to pull that off. So I guess I have to settle for 7th. Quite a disappointing season to be completely honest. Hopefully we'll see better results in 2001. By the way guys, you only got a couple more days before the voting for the next season's team ends. So if you want to submit your vote, you should do so now, otherwise I will choose a team myself. Anyway guys, that is it for this video, but join me next time when we'll be heading off to Malaysia for the final round of the season. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to vote for next season's team, and as always, stay sharp.